Hello and welcome. Tonight,
I, Bala Ngilari, do solemnly swear.
change of guard as Federal High Court Abuja sacks Adamawa acting governor Bala Ngilari, sworn in as new governor. Nigeria and 3 other neighboring countries set up a multinational battalion to tackle Boko Haram. Chief of Defense Staff drops a bombshell, says those identified as the abducted Chibok girls are not the real ones. And US Ebola patient dies in Dallas hospital, 100 others quarantined.
On business news, the Federal Executive Council approves 1.9 billion naira for the purchase of locomotive railway coaches.
And on sports news tonight, champions Kanu Pillars go 4 points clear at the top of the Glow Premier League after a thrilling 3-2 win over troubled Crown FC.
The Federal High Court in Abuja today sent the acting governor of Adamawa State, Pt.1, packing, and in his place ordered the takeover by the former deputy governor, Bala Ngilari. Today's judgment has put paid to all the controversy surrounding the purported resignation of the former deputy governor. And also truly remarkable was the order of the court asking Mr. Fintiri to vacate the government house with immediate effect. This judgment also sets aside the conduct of the October the 11th by-election. Our correspondent Amaka Okafor reports.
Jubilation by supporters of Adamawa State Deputy Governor Mr. Bala Ngilari shortly after a federal high court ordered that he should be sworn in as the governor of Adamawa State immediately following the impeachment of Governor Murtala Nyako. But before that, Justice Adamawa, who first affirmed the jurisdiction of his courts to adjudicate on the matter, ruled that for any deputy governor to resign, there must be strict compliance to Section 306 of the 1999 Constitution, which required that a resignation letter must be received by the governor or any other person he assigns to do so on his behalf. And there is no evidence before the court indicating that former Governor Murtala Nyako, who is joined in the suit as a 6th defendant, received any letter from the deputy governor. Justice Adamawa said that it is not the duty of the Adamawa State House of Assembly to receive any resignation letter. Accordingly, the said resignation letter has no effect and therefore not admissible by the court. He ruled that the resignation of the deputy governor did not comply with the Constitution and therefore does not stand. Justice Adeni ordered that Mr. Ngilari be sworn in as the governor of Adamawa State immediately. He also directed that the acting governor, Mr. Amadu Fintiri, vacates the Adamawa State Government House immediately, as his swearing-in is illegal and unconstitutional. The court also ordered that the Independent National Electoral Commission shelve the planned by-election in Adamawa State this Saturday, 11th of October 2014, as there is no vacancy in the Adamawa State Government House.
Section 306 is very clear on the point that unless you hand over a letter of resignation to the governor, it does not take any effect. So at the time that Nyako was purportedly impeached, there was a deputy governor in place to be sworn in as governor. What you had was a constitutional coup. It was a civilian coup that took place, that a speaker connived with everybody, removed his 2 bosses in front of him and took over government of a state.
Meanwhile, in response to the judgment of the Federal High Court, counsel to the acting governor of Adamawa State, Chief Bayojo, says he has appealed the judgment and also filed a motion for the stay of the orders of the court pending the hearing and disposal of the appeal. According to him, by the appeal, the orders of the court cannot be complied with until the appeal process is disposed of. Amaka Okafor, Channels Television News.
I,
do solemnly
Bala James Ngilari,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will be faithful
that I will be faithful
and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria,
and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria,
and that I will
preserve, protect,
and defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
and defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
So help me God.
So help me God.
And as you can see, relying on the court judgment, the President of the Customary Court of Appeal, Justice Lawan Lagri, today swore in Bala Ngilari as the substantive governor. After the ceremony, the new governor expressed optimism that he will be able to carry along all indigents of the state, irrespective of their political leanings. He also pledged his loyalty to the President, Dr. Goodluck Jonathan.
I pledge to run an open government, transparent and an all-inclusive one that will give hope to our women, the aged, and guarantee the future of our youth. In this regard, I invite other arms of government, in particular the legislature and the judiciary, not forgetting the civil service, to join hands with me to achieve this notable and noble goal.
In the meantime, Nigeria's Attorney General and Minister of Justice Mohammed Adoke has advised the Adamawa House of Assembly to abide by today's court judgment. The Justice Minister also directed INEC to ensure an enforcement of the court judgment by stopping all plans to have elections conducted on Saturday, October the 11th. Mr. Adoke, who is also a senior advocate of Nigeria, told journalists in Abuja today that the federal government would never intervene in any court case involving political parties, including the ruling People's Democratic Party.
I directed that the judgment be complied with and that the former deputy governor be sworn in as the governor in compliance with the judgment of the court. I have also caused that a letter be written to the INEC in my capacity as the chief law officer, post 1 to section 150 of the Constitution, directing that all arrangements for the election on Saturday be put on hold in compliance with the judgment of the court. And of course, this is without prejudice to whatever step the acting governor would want to take, but we have to comply with the judgment and avoid a constitutional crisis.
Meanwhile, the Independent National Electoral Commission has called off a consultative stakeholders meeting earlier scheduled to begin today ahead of the by-election in Adamawa State. Now, the decision, according to the INEC chairman, Professor Atahiru Jega, follows the Federal High Court order declaring the acting governor, Amadou Fintere, an illegal occupant of the governor's seat in the state.
30 minutes or so ago, I received information from Abuja that the Federal High Court has, among other things, given an injunction restraining INEC from conducting the Adamawa State by-election. So I thank you for your patience.
In part two, after the break, women brainstorm in Asaba, Delta State, on supporting the growth of fellow women. That's in a moment. Join us again.